You're no artist. An artist respects the silence that serves as the foundation of creativity.
Wow, it sure looks like they took the dude's words to heart, because Nintendo sure has been silent, haven't they?
A little too silent, if you ask me.
Yeah, and this is the reason.
And if you ask my good old buddy Ben. Right, Ben?
Yeah, you were very silent.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
No, but in all seriousness, what inspired me to make this discussion is a tweet I saw. Now, this happens frequently, but in this case, I feel like it was kind of justified because everyone's been craving for a Nintendo Direct. I don't think North Koreans crave this much for food as much as the fans have been craving for a Nintendo Direct.
Right.
So, every tweet Nintendo puts out, they've been hammered with requests, when's the Direct coming? When's the Direct coming? Please, please Nintendo, tell us when the Direct is coming. And you know what, you'll see the people go both ways. There are the ones who post the same copy-paste you need to chill, a Direct will eventually happen. But then there are the other people who are impatient. Now, I don't know about you, but I think the you need to chill thing is kind of like the entitled thing or ungrateful thing. I think people feel morally superior for waiting for a Direct when in reality, it's a Nintendo Direct. It doesn't really matter if you're patient for it or not.
Exactly.
Now, if you're disrespectful about it, like harassing people, that's different. But if you're just saying, please give us a Nintendo Direct, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And not only was it the tweet, actually the tweet was different because it said, why are people craving a Direct? When we only know about these 4 games, 2 being a remaster, where you can post Nintendo's 2020 lineup within a single tweet, you know something's bad.
Yeah.
And the games were Animal Crossing, Xenoblade Chronicles, No More Heroes 3, and then there was this other one that was a remaster, but I'm not sure what it was.
Is it Xenoblade? Did you say Xenoblade already?
Yeah. So it was something different.
Okay.
But that goes to show how weak the lineup is if I don't even remember what it was.
It's a little odd that we've been 2 months into the new year and we haven't really heard anything. Now, granted, we could hear something tomorrow, if anything. We could hear something next week. But as it stands, this is the longest we've been without a Nintendo Direct since the last one.
The last one was technically in September, but I don't know about you, but I hardly even count that because the only new things announced were Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which, let's be real here, it's a remake of a pretty good game. JRPGs aren't really my thing, but I respect and I think that it is a good game. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of niche too.
They revealed Terry as well, which was Smash. Yeah, nothing too surprising in the September Direct. But
well, Disney Tsum Tsum Festival got a special edition, so that counts, right?
Oh yeah. That's a great game actually. I have it on my Switch right now.
Oh, you mean from the guy who's just giving out games saying, "Here, I got this Mickey Mouse game. It was the wrong one. Here, take this for free. It's so bad."
You know the theme song. Oh no, I was about to sing the Zuzu Pet song.
Okay, that's when I know we are starving for a Direct. When you're gonna sing the Zuzu Pet song instead of thinking of ideas. What the?
I almost confused Zuzu Pets for Tsum Tsum. No, it was Zuzu Pets are so much fun.
Oh yeah, I remember
that. It's like Zuzu Pets are so much. Yeah. Okay, let's get back on the subject.
We're gonna be talking about just the lack of Direct, lack of information. Why it's a little bit concerning. We're not saying that you should be concerned. We're just saying how it is concerning to some people, including ourselves, actually. I can't speak for you, but, you know, I can speak for myself and say that it is a little bit concerning, to say the least.
Yeah, I think there's some YouTubers out there who are kind of bashing people for wanting a Nintendo Direct. I think you know who I'm talking about. I won't say who it is, but it's not just them. It's a bunch of other people too that are just like, oh, stop being so privileged and stop asking for a Nintendo Direct for when a Nintendo Direct happens. It happens. You guys need to get a life. Like, okay, first off, that's not the point. Okay,
Yeah, it isn't.
we're
But
starved. Like, we're starved for a Nintendo Direct, but we do all have lives. Okay, that's low. First
it
off,
is pretty low. But
and
I think I went
I
a little
hate
bit
when
over
there's
that, didn't I?
yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's annoying
It
to me
annoys you.
too because like every time I go through Twitter, it's like I see more people complaining about a Nintendo Direct than the people complaining about Nintendo Directs.
Right? Because I seen
Not,
that too.
and it's annoying. It's almost like they all work for Nintendo or something, and they're just like, guys, shut up.
Man, I don't
You
even know
know?
why they hire PR when they have the fanboys out there. But anyways,
Yep.
before we go on a tangent about that, let's just
Yeah.
talk about their lineup for 2020, why it's concerning, what we'd like to see, and what we think we're going to see. So
Mhm.
far, really the only, I would say, game that isn't niche and is like in a really popular franchise is Animal Crossing. Now that's coming soon, but there's also another problem with that. We barely know anything about the game. Most of the details came from marketing information and magazines, and there hasn't been much known about it.
It's a little concerning. Okay, so at first I wasn't concerned about it because we were a few months off from Animal Crossing. I was like, they'll probably ramp up the marketing like for the last 2 months.
Right.
However, we are almost exactly 1 month away from the game,
We are.
and we have heard nothing. Um, is it possible we get an Animal Crossing Direct in the last 2 weeks of February? Yeah, I think so. But as it stands right now, we know nothing.
Now that's true and
and
everything, but the thing is, we got two specific directs.
Right.
One was Smash Bros. And the other was Pokemon.
right.
Now, having an Animal Crossing one before a general direct,
Mhm.
I mean, people just want to see a general direct because that's when the games are announced,
Right.
and we know nothing about the year. Now, I was thinking about this, and this was kind of what the video was going to be like.
Mhm.
Comparing Nintendo's new strategy to their old strategy when it comes to marketing. Now, obviously, we know the Wii U was not a success.
Mhm.
It didn't do too well.
Right.
But I was thinking about 2013 when Iwata was still president, rest in paradise.
Mhm.
And I remember they did a direct in January announcing that they were going to announce and show off the next 3D Mario, and they were going to show off Mario Kart and Smash Bros. At E3.
Yeah.
So they went from announcing stuff way in advance to just having it be complete silence. Now, while I do think the silence approach is good in a few ways because you're not waiting too long for a
Yeah.
game, I do think it has its flaws, especially with Nintendo not saying anything at
Yeah.
all about a
I
possible
think.
direct.
Yeah.
We've been getting most announcements on
I
Twitter.
think it's. I see why they're doing it. They also do it with Super Smash Brothers with the new characters. I know you don't really care for Smash that much, but it's kind of the same strategy.
I do, but it's just I was a little bit upset when they just did the general Smash Direct because
It was just
I don't know,
Byleth.
I feel like
Yeah.
we've gotten enough news about Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Byleth, yeah, a little bit disappointing.
Mhm.
Actually, very disappointing if I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
me too.
But I think we said that enough in our
Oh
last
yeah,
video.
very, very
But-
positive reaction to that, of course. But you know,
They've been too silent about
it's
things.
a little concerning because yeah, like you said, a long time ago they did announce they were working on a new 3D Mario, new Mario Kart, etc., etc. So we know what to expect for E3. Here's the thing: the silence.
They might not even be at E3 this year.
Yeah, that's another thing that we might want to bring up towards the end of this video. But it's a little weird considering that nobody really knows what's going to be shown off in the directs, and sometimes that could be good, but sometimes, as we've seen with the Byleth trailer, that could be incredibly, incredibly bad. Because what happens,
I'd say more so the September Direct.
that too, but what happens is that you hype fans up so much, and you get leakers in on the fun, if you get what I mean. And it gets to the
Yeah.
point where people become desperate for information and start basing their information based off of speculation and rumors from other leakers.
Now, I told you my stance on it earlier, but everything for me is fake until proven real, but unless it's something that has extremely credible backing or something just absolutely insane, like the Mario and Rabbids thing, who would have ever guessed that that would ever
I
be
kind
a
of
thing?
believed it. I believed
don't
it
believe
the
'em,
first.
so I'm not
I
getting.
believed the Mario and Rabbids thing the first time I saw it. It was just too bizarre not to believe.
But I'm talking about the recent stuff like a 2.5D new Metroid game and Paper Mario. I do think we might get Paper
Yeah.
Mario, but knowing Nintendo, they can be unpredictable. Very unpredictable.
I am leaning towards those being real, but I don't know if everything's going to be revealed in the next direct. We could go over rumors a little bit later, those specific rumors. However, let's talk about the direct itself. Let's say it happens the last 2 weeks of February, right? Apparently, there's going to be there's rumored that there's going to be a general direct and then an Animal Crossing direct, which I'm going to be honest, sounds likely. I don't know if that sounds likely to you, because I know you're pretty shaky on leaks, but it makes sense considering Animal Crossing is like a month away. Now,
It does make sense, but Nintendo doesn't make sense.
that's true.
That's the thing.
Now, here's my question to you. Do you think this Nintendo Direct will cover some games to look forward to in 2020? Because, we don't.
I mean, we are in 2020.
Well, what I mean is that, do you think they'll do the first half of 2020? Do you think they'll do the second half, or do you think they'll save that for like E3 or something?
Well, judging by last year, we did get most of the announcements for what was coming in 2019 direct.
Right.
And we even got the announcement of Luigi's Mansion 3 a little bit earlier. So it's pretty hard to say, but they 100% need to show off what's coming this year.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, things aren't looking
They
too
gotta.
good. Now, that's not to say they could change, or they're not going to change, because I have a good feeling
Yeah.
they will. But the fact is, we don't even have any Mario games coming out this year.
I don't think there needs to be necessarily a Mario game every single year, but I think they're.
No, I'm talking about not mainline,
No, I
but
understand.
spin-offs.
I don't know. Like, we don't know what the holiday title is. We don't know what any of the spring titles are. We don't even know if there's any summer titles. I have confidence that 2020.
They did really good in there, I think.
Yeah, I have confidence that 2020 will be a good year for Nintendo. But man, I don't know why they're taking so long with these trailers. I know that the people who edit the trailers do get gameplay footage last minute from developers all the time for Nintendo Directs. But you got to have a set date. I feel like Nintendo does it whenever they want now. Like, I feel like a long time ago when Iwata was in office, like, there was at least a Nintendo Direct either every month or every few months.
But now things have changed.
It's kind of like
where you never know when
it's
there's
kind of
gonna
like
be a
it's kind of like
Nintendo Direct.
NES Online, where you never know if you're going to get a new NES game. You know?
Actually, the selection really isn't.
No,
that
it's
good.
not. But like the other day, I was like, oh yeah, that exists. You know? And the thing is, Nintendo should be careful. Like, they should have time allocated for certain directs, if you get what I mean. Because I'm sorry, but fans do expect it. The fans are the consumers. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get exactly.
And
what you
it's
mean.
not me coming off as, hypocritical or, really cocky or ungrateful, right? It's me looking at this as a business, right? If I were,
Because they have investors, they have people who look and see what the company does, and if they have just that small lineup that they do this, then investors would lose faith.
and this is a small thing, but it adds to my level of concern for Nintendo moving forward. Speaking of Animal Crossing, there was a lot of backlash about the save file thing, because apparently you can't have a save file on Nintendo Switch Online because they're afraid of people cheating. Now, it would make sense if it's a game like Splatoon, where it's competitive play, but this is Animal Crossing. Who cares? You get what I mean? Like, why would anyone care about people cheating in Animal Crossing?
I don't know. And the thing is, maybe if there was I haven't played too much of Animal Crossing. If there was a system to trade items or something, that could be an issue.
Yeah, but the point is,
other than that,
the fans spoke out, and then Nintendo responded to say, maybe we'll give you a save feature, maybe. You know what that reminds me of? Last year, with Super Mario Maker 2. Why are they making the same mistake a second time in a row?
Nintendo's Nintendo. I get they're creative, but their creative decisions when it comes to online, no thanks.
It's aggravating because what are we into, the third year of the Switch? This is the third year.
We are into the third year of the Switch.
This is the third year.
And whether
yeah.
you like to admit it or not, the Switch has the reverse that most Nintendo systems have had. With the
Yeah.
Wii U and GameCube, excellent first-party support, weak third-party support. Actually, the GameCube had okay third-party
It was
support,
alright.
but it's something they've struggled with.
Yeah.
Now, with the Switch, you're getting some great third-party games, but where's the first-party stuff that people love from Nintendo?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of it has been filled out by remakes or remasters.
What,
Yeah,
the
the ports, like,
It's a GBA all
I mean,
over
look,
again.
I love Tropical Freeze, but I kind of want to play a new Donkey Kong game, and don't even get me started on Mario Kart 8. I am so sick of that game, it's not even funny. 6 years! 6 years! It's time for Mario Kart 9.
I can't believe it's been that
And
long.
I can't believe...
And when I was playing...
So no, go on, sorry.
When I was playing Mario Kart 8 with my friend the other day, I've been playing the game so much that I could probably play it in my sleep if I wanted to. It is... I'm not saying it's a bad game, because it is the best Mario
of course.
Kart, but oh my god. You can't have the same Mario Kart for 6 years and not release a new one. Now, ports are fine if they don't replace them, and I love when people say, oh, well, it's just selling so well. You know what they should do? Capitalize on that and make a sequel.
That's what I was going to say. Why would you do that? Why would you want to do that? That's like saying, oh, New Super Mario Bros. U, it's selling pretty well. Why don't we bring out New Super Toad U? Yeah, people like that, right? They'd buy it. No. Give us new games. Come on, guys. And look, this isn't me saying we won't get a new Mario Kart game, because I based on rumors going around, I think it's likely that we see it this holiday. But again, it's a rumor. Don't take it as gospel. However, it's something that's really concerning with me with Nintendo. Like, how long are they going to keep it up with these remakes? Not that I don't like... It's not that I don't like remakes, but it gets annoying when you don't have, like, a new mainline entry into the series.
Now, let's get into that a little bit, because I feel like we can go into it in a little more detail. But with the ports and everything, they're fine. But I feel like they've been a majority of the Switch's library, and I know people always use the excuse, not many people owned a Wii U, this is a new Mario Kart for them. Or they'll use the excuse, oh, it's just not many people owned a Wii U, so no one played these games. You know what? Wii U game, or the system didn't sell that well, but the game sold pretty well. So a lot of people did get to play it. And I don't think that it's right fans aren't getting the new games frequently. I mean, 2017 was a good year. 2018, mediocre games except for Smash. 2019, you had Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Mario Maker 2, you had a few others. But other than that, there was really nothing. And I'm not saying this to bash Nintendo or anything, but they just have to have a steadier stream of new releases. That's just how I feel.
I feel like ever since Iwata passed away, Nintendo's marketing strategy, well, not marketing strategy, but I guess strategy for announcements has changed. I feel like with Iwata, it was a lot more genuine, and like people were a little bit more excited to see Nintendo Directs and see Mr. Iwata. I feel like he had a lot more to offer. I don't know if you remember.
Reggie,
and I don't know if you remember. They showed off Yoshi's Woolly World way in advance, like almost 2 years in advance. Yeah, way too. It was almost way too early. Yeah, it was way too early. But he still said, you know what? Let's give them some footage. Let's tease them, right? Now, that doesn't mean...
Now, that can be good or bad. It can go the other way.
That doesn't mean you should announce a game 3 years before it's due. But, you know, just... It's an example showing that, you know, Nintendo, especially with the September Direct, there wasn't really anything to show off. You get what I mean?
Yeah, if the September Direct is in 2020, like one major announcement of what one of the spring or summer titles could be, that's different.
Yeah, like...
But there really wasn't that. And I know we're sounding a bit angry in this, but we're not angry about it. We're just giving our take on it, because if I was angry, it would probably be more like the
Or the
podcast,
Mario Tennis Aces.
Or Mario Tennis Aces, yeah, right
Yeah.
there. So I'm just gonna go over this short before we go
Right.
into our predictions. I don't like how silent Nintendo's been. They just need to have the balance that they did before in 2017,
Right.
where they just enough. That's coming in the year. Mario Odyssey was announced formally in January, and then it got released in October of that year.
Right.
That's fine. And I like what they did in 2018 too, despite most of the games being ports. It's not about the quality of the games, it's announcing them soon, like that they're gonna have releases soon, but not announced so far in advance
Yeah.
or too little in
Exactly.
advance. And this is where fans get concerned with the silence and everything. Do I think there's something to be Probably not, because Nintendo is a company that makes games and only games, so they really have to announce them somehow.
Yeah.
But just in case, here are my predictions for Nintendo's No Game 2020. We are gonna get Animal Crossing, No More Heroes 3, Xenoblade Chronicles HD, The Library HD, and Mario Golf.
The last story.
Actually, Mario Golf's...
What is the last story?
It was a Wii game, like an RPG.
Okay. I'm a little bit more optimistic. But
I mean, I am too. That's not my realistic
Okay.
predictions. Those are my predictions just in case everything goes wrong. So worst comes to worst, you'll probably have Mario Golf to look forward to.
wonderful. My predictions. Here's the thing. I think there are 3 major games coming out this year. One of which I do think it's time for a new Mario Kart. And it's not just because I'm piggybacking off of the rumors that have been going around. Since Deluxe came out,
It's just time.
it's time. You know, it's been 6 years, but also, if you count Deluxe as its own Mario Kart title, Deluxe came out, 2017? It's been 3 years.
Yeah, so it's been 3 years, so that's a pretty normal gap.
3 years, I think, is acceptable for that. I think what happened is that they started making more DLC for Deluxe, and just like Nintendo EAD, they decided they had way too much in mind, and they probably branched it out into a new game. Why do I say that?
I'd say the
Yeah.
same.
Oh, sorry.
I'd say the same happened Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Where that's another game that I think is probably going to come out
I
this year.
actually...
I think they were working on C for Super Mario Odyssey, but they just did Galaxy 2 and said, look, we have way many ideas to make this just DLC. We're going to make this into a new game.
Yeah.
Or you know what they
What?
could do? They could go the route of New Super Luigi U.
Super
They have
Luigi
expansion
Odyssey.
passes for those games.
Yeah.
No. New Super Luigi U.
Okay.
They could go the route where they'd be expansion passes to the game if you want to have it
Oh,
like
okay.
for $40 or $50, but there will be a fees too.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's unlikely,
Yeah.
but they've done that before with things like Xenoblade Chronicles DLC.
I just this is my other prediction. So Mario Kart, I think Mario Kart will be the holiday title. It makes the most sense. I also think we're gonna.
You think Odyssey 2 will be spring, or?
I think Odyssey 2 is gonna be summer. I think Odyssey.
Well, if they're going
Yeah,
back to
that's my
Delfino.
prediction because I did a little speculation plot and I sent it to you. I tried to make it as realistic as possible. So I'm not saying my thing is true, but if it is, you heard it here first. So basically, Mario and the gang take the Toadstool Express? Okay.
Yeah.
They take the Toadstool Express to Isle Delfino again. Now, instead of Bowser hijacking the plane, Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings hijack the plane and kidnap Peach so that he could arrange the wedding for his dad. The Toadstool Express crashes down, and Mario's next adventure begins. That's just my little speculation. I don't know if it'll happen, but it'd be cool if it did. But my speculation is that at the end of the Nintendo Direct, or in the beginning, I keep switching back and forth between Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart, like which one will be shown last and first. But I don't know.
So I get where you're coming from with that, where Nintendo usually announces something towards the beginning and end of Direct, like the big announcements. They have one at the beginning and then there's a surprise announcement towards the end. So what I think they're going to do is, instead of having Mario Kart 9 at the beginning and Mario Odyssey 2 at the end, because it's kind of weird to have 2 Mario games be the showcase. Although I wouldn't mind that because
Yeah.
that's my favorite series. I think they might show off
Yeah,
a
me too.
new 2D Metroid. I know it's kind of like a rumor and I don't really believe them, but I can't predict them. I'm not saying it's true or anything, but I think people want a new 2D Metroid again. People really like Samus Returns. So having another one would be
Mhm.
cool on the Switch. And it'd pull
Right.
them over for Metroid Prime 4, which is in development hell. What was that?
I feel it's just something that though.
Sound
I
like you were
feel
in
that
accident.
nah, it's fine.
But
I'll
yeah,
just leave it like this. I feel like 2D Metroid is bound to happen just because I don't think even it was a rumor a while ago. I think I think there was like job listings from Mercury Steam or some other company that were
working on it.
working on a new 2D Metroid. Yeah, so it's coming for sure. Whether or not it's a remake or a sequel, I don't know. Though I do want to make a quick prediction. I think the first thing they're going to show off is a new Paper Mario.
Now that would be something because people complained about how Color Splash was announced. Rightfully so, it shouldn't have been
Right.
announced or released to begin with in the state it was. But
Yeah,
no, here's the thing. That's been rumored along with the new 2D Metroid, but it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Even though Nintendo is silent with their releases, they tend to listen to
Mhm.
criticism. Except with Smash Bros. With Byleth, but I digress. So what I think this new Paper Mario is not a remake or a remaster, but a new Paper Mario game that plays like the first 2, has a unique characters, story, everything. Because
Yeah.
I think Nintendo
I
has learned that people don't like the Color Splash and Sticker Star games. People might have liked Super
Right.
Paper Mario, but a game like the first 2 is what's really in high demand.
Yeah, and you know, I know there's been this movement saying remaster the Thousand Year Door, but to be honest, I think a new game following the footsteps of Thousand Year Door and the original, I think is the best way to go. But yeah, I think Paper Mario will be the first thing announced. And
So
I
what about
think
Odyssey 2 and Mario Kart 9? You think that whatever the holiday
That's
title is
tough. I
would
don't
be
know.
announced in June or something?
do they usually announce like how many new things do they announce at E3?
Sometimes they announce a lot of new things, sometimes they don't. Mainly stuff focusing
I think
on games that have already been announced.
yeah, so I'm thinking I don't think we're gonna get a lot of new games per se in E3. I think they're gonna give us all that they have for the February Direct. I don't know because I keep flipping back and forth. Like I don't know if Odyssey 2 would be a holiday title, and I don't know if Mario Kart would be a summer title. I personally feel like since Mario Kart makes the most money and it's Nintendo's most profitable franchise, I think that makes sense for it to be a holiday title. And we don't know how far Odyssey 2 is into development, but
Now, if it's an expansion like the first, or
I have a
Galaxy
feeling
2,
it's going to be.
that released 2.5 years after it. So that could
Right.
be the case where it could be the
So-
spring title, and you know what?
I don't know.
I'd be fine with that because I want to play it as long as it's not rushed.
I
or
don't
anything.
know. But here's my thing. Mainline Mario games aren't usually announced like a few months before it releases, you know? At least not the 3D ones.
They did change their
they
strategy
usually-
though, so keep that in mind.
They did, but for Odyssey, it was revealed in January and it came out at the end of the year. So, just keep that in mind. I don't know. I'm going to stick with my gut and say Mario Kart is the holiday title, and Odyssey 2 will come in the summertime, like August, maybe. I think August makes the most sense, especially if they announce it now, and especially since they've been working on this since Odyssey 1. Because I'm thinking that Odyssey 2, since they're using the same engine, assumingly, that it's basically done, or at least like a good 75% of it is done, to the point where I think it'll come out earlier than expected.
Yeah, I feel that way too now that you mention it, but before we talk about or end this video, do you want to put in some B-tier game predictions? Ones that aren't the heavy hitters, but also ones that could possibly happen that are just like on a
First
lower
party.
level.
First party,
But
right?
first party, yeah.
Okay. Mario Golf. Uh, I don't know. I want to say Donkey Kong Country really badly, but I don't know what the situation with retro is right now, especially with Metroid Prime 4. I wanna speculate and say that maybe Platonic is making the next Donkey Kong Country, but that's a wild prediction. I mean, it could happen, but it's kind of
I'd like a
wild
new
for me
Donkey
to
Kong,
assume, especially
preferably a 3D one though.
Yeah,
But I know I'm super biased about
I
this
would.
one.
Yeah.
But do you think Wario Land
Mhm.
could return this year?
I was just gonna say that. I see it as a small summer title, and I see it being revealed at E3.
What about WarioWare?
The thing with WarioWare is that it either comes in the beginning or at the end of the life cycle. So I'm gonna say
the
no
GBA?
for now. Yeah, but
I
here's
don't
the
think
thing.
that's a hard rule though.
No, but here's the thing. The Virtual Boy Wario Land remake rumor has been rampant for almost 3 years now. I want to say a little bit longer than that. And it did come up with somebody
trademarks.
else's rumor. Yeah, the trademarks as well with Awazon and Wario Land. It's rumored that Skip is developing the title, and Skip is apparently having the same fate as Alpha Dream at the moment. Again, this
my
is all
theory,
rumor,
though.
but I wouldn't be surprised.
I think
Yeah.
it was going to release for the 3DS, but they had to rework everything
Yeah.
for the Switch because those last few
I
3DS games did not sell well at all.
Here's my concern though. If it's a Virtual Boy Wario Land remake, I don't know how you're gonna justify $60 for that. The game is only 14 levels long. There's a lot of dated elements in it. I suggested to you earlier if they make kind of like a direct sequel and they made it play like the later Wario Land games,
Like a Link
with the
Between
3D
Worlds.
feature still intact. Right, like a Link Between Worlds where it plays more like Wario Land 2 and 4 and it has the 3D feature. And it expands upon the Awazon itself. Like maybe Wario finds a secret second half of the map that he used in the first
exactly.
Virtual Boy Wario Land,
Here's
and
what
he
I'd
goes to
suggest,
explore.
though.
You know?
Just
Yeah.
you can keep the levels from Virtual Boy Wario Land, but also have
Yeah.
20 extra levels, making the total of 34. The levels are expansive enough as they are. I think you're good to go. Maybe even more.
I agree, but here's my thing. I feel like the gameplay compared to the later titles is a little primitive. Not that it's bad, I just feel like Wario got more of his identity in platformers with Wario Land 2 or Wario Land 4. I don't know, I could be wrong. What I'm hoping for, though, is a return to a more Wario art style. I didn't like Shake It's art style. It felt kind of bland and uninspired. Not that I don't appreciate the hard work that went into it, but it just didn't really feel as expressive as the titles beforehand.
I get what you mean.
So
but so far,
I'm assuming, yeah.
yeah, just go on.
I was just gonna say I'm assuming that like most modern Nintendo 2D platformers, it's gonna be 2.5D, but how stylized it'll be to that extent, I don't know. But we'll see. This is mostly wishful thinking, but I do want Wario Land to return so bad.
I do too, and that's another video coming up soon. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up before we end this. Our predictions, just in case everything goes wrong with Nintendo: Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Animal Crossing New Horizons, The Last Story Remastered, and Mario Golf. Our actual predictions: Mario Golf, Mario Kart 9, Paper Mario, Super Mario Odyssey 2, a new Metroid game, and the other two we're a little bit more wary about. Donkey Kong
Okay.
Country and Wario Land.
Before we end the video off, I have one last prediction. Just one last. I'm not gonna make it long. A spring title, maybe a new Kirby game, but it's not gonna be a mainline Kirby game. It's gonna be a spin-off Kirby game. What do you think?
That's plausible. In fact, I was gonna mention that, but then I realized maybe they're actually gonna take their time after Star Allies and just focus on developing a better Kirby game.
I would like them to. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, let's end it off here before we discuss Kirby.
Or Zuzu Pets. Or the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Or the guy saying you're no
Or
artist.
Wario.
Actually, Wario we could discuss. But anyways, I'm Demeech.
And I'm Ty the Guy.
And keep calm and Dada on.